Sis Tell. Sis Tell. A whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. Sis Tell. Amanda to stand up and Alison's on TV. When they hop on the phone, yeah, you know it's the place you wanna be. Sis Tell.
Hey, Allie.
Hey, man. How are you?
You know.
Another one bites the dust. Ba-da-dun, dun,
I really thought the CDC was going to kidnap me and study me because I hadn't gotten COVID yet.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, let's add this to the things you can do while in quarantine. Binge watch Netflix, catch up on your reading, text friends you haven't talked to in a while, and record your podcast with your sister.
I have awful news, and
What?
it's not about getting COVID. It's
What?
that I've watched so much TV. I'm sick of it. I don't
That's
know how
impossible.
I
I don't
don't
think it's
know.
possible for a Goldstein to be sick of TV. I just don't believe you.
I just have to say that today is my first day of feeling like not normal, but more normal.
But
if I
not,
w-
not sick.
And well, like all the other days, like my skin has been real sensitive, and this morning I was like, it's not sensitive. I haven't even had Advil today, so I was like, I'm gonna get stuff done. So I was like, I picked up all the poo outside, and we've got these teak chairs that I've been restoring.
From your dogs, let's be clear. From the dogs, or just random poop around?
It's figured.
You were so bored that you decided just to go around and poop scoop
No,
for the
it's
entire neighborhood?
Figuratively speaking, I've been picking up poop. No, I'm just joking. No, yeah, literally my dog. It's like picking up after a circus animal, so, or a farm animal, but a large farm animal. So, and then I was like, and I had been right before I got sick, I'd been restoring all of our teak furniture we acquired from my in-laws, which literally it has never been cleaned, and anyway, it was this whole thing. So I was like, I went and did that, and then and it's my first day where I don't have to isolate. So Murray's like, can we go driving? So, and then I was like, I don't feel right. I don't feel right. It's because I lost my appetite and I don't eat.
Right.
And I have to make myself eat, but then I don't finish what I'm eating because I'm not hungry. And then I'm like, I think
Did you lose your sense of taste?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just like, I have no appetite. And so I'm literally like forcing myself. Oh my God, I'm like forcing myself to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
You're already like a size 2. Can you please stop
I'm
talking?
not a size 2. No, I'm like dizzy. And so I need some
All right. Well, if you pass out while we're recording, don't worry. I'll just talk for the both of us.
Thank you.
But this is why it's impossible to find an interior designer, a landscaper, a handy person, an electrician, because people have been in their houses for one reason or another related to COVID, and now realize that, okay, if I'm going to be stuck in my house, I want to redo it, or I want to change this, or I've never cooked so long, and I've now used up all of my appliances.
I would like, I'm a DIYer, except for electricity. I will not, that's not smart.
No, like our oven broke. I can't do that myself.
No, that's true.
I replaced toilet seats the other day. That was fun.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, we had two of our toilet seats were really old and were like the kind you can still slam.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet
you know how he feels about the Goldstein Slam.
Noise, you don't want a noisy toilet seat. Isn't that weird?
I'm an Alabama slammer. I slam doors, I slam seats. So he ordered, it's not just the slow release, right?
It's the silent.
I could go to the bathroom and let the toilet seat fall down, and then 5 hours later come back and it would still be coming to a close. It's that slow.
It's like slow motion.
It is completely slow motion.
Yeah. It's so weird. They must have had the toilet seat industry must have gotten a series of complaints about their loud toilets. So
they're
like,
selling
what was
out of
happening?
those. Yeah.
Were people slamming their fingers in the toilet seats? Were they going deaf? It was like an OSHA compliance. Like they had to like change up the velocity and the amount of sound that was coming from a toilet seat.
I guess. They make drawers that way too. Everything now has the slow release, slow close, whatever they call it. And
Except
it's nice. What?
for car doors.
All right, car doors. Well, the minivan door is as slow as you get.
She got automated. Yeah.
It's automated. I love the automated minivan door. You can't beat it. Hard to beat.
It is. That's right.
So I have a question. So now that you've given, your life a lot of thought in the past 5 days of isolation, really contemplated it. And anybody who I've talked to, I keep using the line that the past couple of years have given me some insights into what is important, what is sacred, what makes me happy, or as Marie Kondo would say, what brings me joy. And I like to say I have Marie Kondoed the stuff out of my life, not just the things that were not bringing me joy, but the people, right? So, and I don't think I've done it quite like, not so much intentionally, but upfront idly, if that makes sense. It's not like I've gone up to someone and said, "You don't bring me joy. Goodbye."
Later, dude.
Right. But people have done that recently, and maybe they've been doing it all along, but
to you?
Well, not to me personally, unless they've done it to me and they haven't told me. But I was wondering, have you ever broken up with a friend or had a friend break up with you, and not a romantic partner, but just a friend in your life? Has someone ever broken up with you, or have you ever?
You're trying to make me cry?
No.
I'm already sick and emotional.
No.
You're asking if a friend broke up with me?
Yeah. Did this happen?
I mean, it's
not somebody who you just fell apart, right? Or you like stopped being as close and used to be best friends. That happens to us all. I mean, someone who said to you, "I can't be your friend anymore."
No.
Like you would break up with someone romantically, but they broke up friendshiply.
Yeah, no, that's not. No one's ever broken up with me as a friend.
Okay. Well, I
think
like
overtly.
Yeah.
Like it's happened where my friendships have ended, but no one's like directly said I can't be friends with you.
Well, I've been hearing more and more stories, anecdotes. I won't mention specific names, but of friends of mine who have had friends of theirs break up with them, or they've had to break up. And some of them are pretty blatant or blunt conversations. Like, we can no longer be friends, or because of this, I can no longer, hang out with you. I mean, in their 40s and 50s. We're not talking about middle school. It feels like middle school. But I can't figure out whether I appreciate the honesty and transparency or if it makes me, like your face, very uncomfortable.
Why do you have to bring it up? Why would you tell someone?
No, can't you just stop? Just if you want to break up with me, anybody listening to this podcast, if we've broken up and I don't know it, I'm fine with that. And if you want to break up with me, just ghost me. I'd rather you ghost me than tell me you don't want to be my friend. Yeah.
I mean, we're all probably not that good of friends to begin with if you tell me we're not friends anymore.
Exactly. It was like,
we're not friends anymore.
Set the bird free. If it comes back, it was yours. And if it doesn't, it was never yours to begin with.
Yeah.
So I don't think somebody who has to break up with you is never really your friend. If they have to say, "I can't be friends with you," that's not a friend you needed in your life. Anybody who's listening to this, if you've had somebody break up with you, don't take it personally. Take it as a blessing. Right? Or try. But then, I would take it personally.
Guess what? I will never break up with you.
I can't quit you.
First of all, Mommy would never let us.
We're stuck together forever. We're tethered forever. But we're sisters.
You have.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way. You only have 13 more years to go of podcasting with me because
I don't think I have 18 years. That's unfair. That's an unfair summary.
You came up with that.
I know. I think I said 9.
So I feel like we should tell people that we celebrated our 5 years of doing this podcast.
We really didn't celebrate it. So this is the celebration.
Right.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
5 long years. 5 short years of doing this podcast.
I can't believe it. So May 17th was the date of our first podcast. We kept on being like, we got to remember. And I just remembered. Yeah. Allison, it's really a prison sentence for Allison.
It's not. It's sort of more like indentured servitude. I don't like to say prison sentence.
Okay.
That's unfair to the prisoners of the world.
Right. It's kind of like you have an ankle monitor on and you're in house arrest.
And this is,
Right?
I
There's
say,
some
because I
freedoms.
was not the best, most endearing, patient big sister. So I'm working off my time. And if people want to give me, more grace than that, they're like, oh, I'm sure you were great. I'm not. I'm not really being, I'm prone to exaggeration. I'm not exaggerating. I wasn't the best. I was fine.
You were in your own world. You
I
were
was
doing
in
your
my
own
own
thing.
world.
And you know what? I don't know if I should tell you this
Oh,
story.
no. Are you breaking up with me?
No. No, but there was a moment at your wedding when Stuart and I were talking about our speeches to you, and we both realized that you had ignored us when we were younger, and I felt so much better.
Wait, who's Stuart?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, I ignored him
Bubba.
too. Oh,
Yeah. He said he was ignored too. So you know what? Allison wasn't like, she
Gosh.
didn't hit us. She wasn't like calling us names. She just was hanging out with her friends.
it was worse. Gosh, I was the worst.
It was fine.
God,
We
please
turned out
stop telling me
okay.
what a terrible person I was. I'm trying to
No.
be better. I'm trying
You're
to be
fine.
better.
You're pretty perfect now.
I don't know
so.
about that, but Stuart, whatever you need me to do, if it's another podcast or if we need to do TikTok videos together, Bubba, I'll do whatever it takes to make you happy. He doesn't care about all that though.
He was like he was so attentive of me without even meaning to be.
Well, you were his muse, that's why.
Yeah. I just happened to be there. I don't know if I was his muse. I think he came up with ideas and I would be in front of the camera because he was obsessed with the video camera from behind the scenes. And
But
I
it was a
obsessed.
win-win. You wanted to be in front of the camera and he wanted to be behind it.
And
So.
his friends would come over and he'd be like, oh, great, now we have more actors. It wasn't like he's like, Amanda, don't hang out with us. He's like, great, David and Amanda.
Now we have a scene.
Come be in this scene together. And then the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, and for anybody who didn't catch the first episode 5 years ago and 5 years and 2 weeks ago, it really, I tell everybody, it is, it's like every year on your anniversary, you have to tell your children how you met your husband or your spouse or your significant other. So the reason we even did this podcast was because we were I can picture it now. I was in the kitchen. We were having just one of our daily phone conversations, and I said something like, oh my gosh, this conversation is so funny, we could turn it into a podcast. And you said, okay. And I said, okay, what? And you said, let's do it. And that was maybe a Tuesday, and by that Friday we had thought of a name, we had created some sort of half-stitched logo, we had secured a website, and we figured out how to do it with GarageBand and Skype and eCam recorder and Wing and a Prayer and our Time Life headsets from the very beginning. So
That's right.
I tell people, if you want a podcast, it is low-hanging fruit in terms of a communication medium. You can spend a lot of money if you want to, but
That's
you
what
don't
I
have
say.
to. You don't have to. Yeah.
No, it can be as expensive as you want it to be.
Yes, exactly.
As long as like the sound quality isn't the distractingly bad,
right.
Then you're like, you can pretty much do it like with minimal expense.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
and here we are,
And
5 years later, and our old camp friends and our mom are the only ones that listen to us.
And speaking of mom, and speaking of camp friends, big shout out to Vanessa Goldberg Drossman. Is that your new name? New name as in the past 20 years. If I've known somebody since I was, 10, then I typically use their first name, their maiden name. But
One of my favorite camp counselors.
She's the best. She was a camper with me, your counselor, and also worked with Aunt Melissa. Aunt Melissa. She worked with Mel, our sister-in-law, in New York. And so she has had many touch points with the Goldstein family.
Bless her.
And just found or stumbled upon or decided to be entertained by the podcast.
From episode 1, which I feel like it's time for us to rehash that I am not a lip kisser.
Well, you are a lip kisser, but I also am realizing since she started with episode 1, it's going to be like 5 years before she hears this shout out. So
It'll be a long time.
It's going to be a
before
long
she
time.
gets here.
So Vanessa, if you're still listening to the podcast after catching up on the past 5
now.
years, we're giving you a big hello.
We're going to send you a hologram greeting.
Yeah, and you still are a lip kisser. That has remained consistent from the past 5 years. People have lipstick
Vanessa.
to prove it.
Future Vanessa, is there still COVID? That's what we want to know.
Future Vanessa, can you tell us if everything's okay?
Have masks been incorporated into our DNA?
But speaking of mommy, have you heard the latest story about mommy and I don't know what you would call it, but
And
singular energy and
yeah,
ability to create a connection and trustworthiness with anybody she meets immediately.
it's
That's what I'm
like
going to call it.
mommy's like a psychic medium. I didn't know what was
No,
what.
she's more
Yeah.
like Tinkerbell. She just sprinkles her magic everywhere. So she calls me on their way to Destin, right? So they spend half their time in Birmingham, the other
I
half
think
in
she called those
Florida.
rocks. I think she calls
Rocks. Oh, instead of
yeah.
fairy dust.
It's a
Yeah.
it's a candy that mommy makes. Anyways.
And she says, "You're not going to believe what happened." So apparently they stop at the gas station to, let's assume, get gas or go to the bathroom or both. And as they're walking in, she notices that there is a faucet on the outside of the gas station that is just like water is coming out in droves. So she walks in and immediately tells the woman behind the counter, "Ma'am, did you know that there is a faucet and it is going full force outside? And I just want to make sure you knew that. I didn't know if that was intentional." The woman said, "It is not intentional. Are you kidding me?" She said, "No." She goes, "Oh my goodness. I need to go and check on it. Will you watch the store while I go out?" And mommy says, "Okay."
Wait, what? Oh,
So
oh,
apparently, yeah.
I've got like a smoker's cough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you sing the blues? Maybe that's a adverse effect of
Wait,
COVID.
where was Daddy in all of this? Was Daddy
He's
in the
probably, let's
car?
assume Daddy went straight to the bathroom. Mommy's chit-chatting, telling her about the unruly faucet. The woman leaves mommy in charge of the C-store.
Okay, but
For
did
how
she
long?
go? Did she go behind the counter? What did she do?
I don't think so. I don't think she rang up any
started-
gas or purchases.
She
But
started
she did realize she was in
analyzing.
charge.
She started analyzing the inventory and be like, "Let me tell you about the 10 must-haves for convenience stores." And it's not corn nuts anymore, surprisingly.
Right. She
It
did
is
start
beef
color
jerky.
coordinating all of the Doritos flavors, which, I mean, has proven really successful. No, I don't know. But literally, I think the woman left for like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5. And mommy was just standing there, I guess, being in
The
charge.
bathroom has never been cleaner.
So if you go into this C-store between Birmingham and Destin and notice a little Arlene Goldstein flair to it, you'll know why.
There's 5 cans of Glade. The grout's super clean in the bathroom.
Yes, Arlene saves the day. Arlene saves it. Is there anything that woman cannot do?
She scrubbed a Star of David into to the grout.
Oh, gosh. I just thought that was funny.
Corn nuts for everyone. Mommy was always a fan of corn nuts. When we would go on, there's things
Corn
about
nuts are delicious.
yeah, there's things about our mom that people, her friends, especially friends from work, that they are often surprised to learn, right? Like she was a working mom, but also a domestic goddess and just incredible on both sides. But there's things like that don't match up, like the fact that she loves corn nuts.
She loves also candy corn. Maybe she just loves anything with the word corn in it.
The corn.
And she
yeah.
loves Daddy, and he's corny.
He is
There's
corny.
a theme. Yeah, and at this point in the podcast, Alan is going, "Okay, enough about your mom. What about your dad? We love our dad too.
But
He's just not as easy to make fun of."
he is. What are you talking about? Do we know the same Milton? Daddy's super easy to make fun of.
I know, but he just laughs at it. Mommy gets offended. It's more.
She does not. You think she's offended when she loves it. She loves being the butt of our jokes.
Is it faux offended? Yeah. Faux offended?
Faux offended.
She's faux offended.
She's faux offended. She really loves it. She's like, "Please stop talking about me. Keep on talking about me." It's not like we're that different from her anyway. So we're really making fun of ourselves.
There you have it.
So I brought up something pretty significant at the beginning of the podcast, and then we just
And then ignored you? I'm falling into old habits. I'm so sorry.
no, we go off onto tangents.
Okay.
That's what this podcast is. It's one giant tangent.
It's
We
one
have-
giant digression. Yeah.
Right? We don't even talk about 3 topics. It's 3,000.
No, we
So-
we alternate between regressing and digressing. So
So
Go
we're
ahead.
going to regress?
regress, go back to your childhood and acting like
Yeah.
children. And then digress is going off topic, which I just did again. Case
Thank
in
you.
point. Okay, go.
So the fact that I got sick of TV.
Oh, right.
So I was
Did you need therapy for this? I'm not sure where we're going with this.
I need therapy. No, so first of all, my husband ended up with the vid, but before he did, but before he did, I'm isolating in our guest bedroom above our garage, which was nice. I have to say, it was like a mini vacation because I love my husband so much, but he has a very noisy sleep apnea machine, CPAP machine for his sleep apnea.
Sleep app. All right.
Sleep app. CPAP. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, my brain's mushy. So I'm sleeping up here. Night 3, I decide, because Oscar's been binging Stranger Things, and it's season 4 came out, and I started watching it with him, and then he started watching it without me, so I had to catch up by myself at midnight, and that's where things went wrong. That's when I started getting scared because there's scary scenes.
Oh, see, I don't watch it.
Like I hadn't really been, Oscar gets scared real easily, but he's not afraid of this show. So it's, it's silly, the scary parts, but then this part was like Exorcist scary, which I couldn't. I was by myself. The alarm was on in the house, and I was not in the house. Just to be clear, my guest bedroom is detached from the house, and so I'm by myself.
It's a garage, over the garage suite.
Yeah. It's the Kirk Cameron apartment in Growing Pains, basically. Right. So yeah, the dogs aren't with me. I'm by myself. I'm scared. It's 12 in the morning, and I don't know what to do. And I can sleep with the lights on, but I had to turn it all off. But I needed a palate cleanser, so I watched 90 Day Fiancé. Have you? Which we've talked about.
It's funny that you do need palate cleansers for shows that just to get them off brain.
Yeah, you do that. It's a good strategy.
Yeah, it works. During COVID, during the real COVID, during the isolation period, everything was already stressing me out. I couldn't watch a show that gave me any amount of stress at all. So I was watching every stupid comedy or dumb reality show, anything that would distract me from anything that would give me stress, because I felt like my stress level was exacerbated. Like if something stressed me out or scared me, like a show, after 20 minutes, it would do it in 2. I'm like, I can't. No, I already know it's something that's going to happen. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm getting back into those shows though.
Right.
Which must mean life is getting better, less stressful, so my shows can get more stressful.
So I have exciting news about my TikTok account. One of my videos kind of went viral to the point where all these people are following me that I don't know.
Is this one of the ones dressed up as a banana?
No, it's not a banana video. It's this one video where I made it a few days ago, and basically it's
while you were sick?
I made it. No. I'm sorry. This was before I was sick.
Okay.
So this was before I got sick.
But I was going to add that to the list of things you can do when isolated. TikTok videos.
Yeah. So no, I made this video. It was basically about how there's fashion trends now that our kids are into that we thought were the dorkiest things in the 90s. And here are the 2 things I brought up. Number 1, all the girls part their hair in the middle, which was looked great in the 70s.
Yeah.
Right? In the 90s.
Farrah Fawcett. She parted her hair in the middle.
But this is not, and we were like, no, this was a butt cut, right? This is what we called parting hair in the middle, was like a butt cut. Okay. And then also, I don't know if your kids do this, my kids are wearing Crocs, which in and of itself is
wrong.
Wrong. And now they're wearing white socks with sandals and with Crocs, which I'm like, what are you doing? You can't wear socks with sandals. And they're like, yes, you can. And we do.
Double wrong. Double wrong.
Yeah. So I made a video about it, right? And it must have triggered a lot of people our age, because all these parents are like, thank you. Thank you for saying what I was thinking. And I start off the video saying, I snuck away from the dinner table to make this video because I have to talk to you about this.
That's funny.
Okay. And
if I had TikTok, I would like it, but I don't.
And by the way, just to clarify, dinner was over. We had finished eating. The kids had gotten up from the table, and I said, hold on, let me take a picture of your feet. And then I ran upstairs and made a video. So all the comments are like lighthearted and fun and sweet. And this one lady is like, why did you make the video during dinner? You couldn't have waited till after dinner.
I mean, what is wrong with her? What's wrong with her? Yeah.
Like she has to make a judgment call on my parenting habits. How about the fact that I'm making fun of my kids on a TikTok video?
Well, that's like I had a picture, or the station had a picture of me with Louise Mandrell, which was the last interview that aired for the show last week. And so I'm reading the 3 comments underneath it. We didn't get a lot of traction.
Someone say something mean?
Not so much mean, but irrelevant. Like, one's like, oh, great job, or this. One said, well, it started the comment with this. Well, I'm not going to watch it. But, and then tells a story that she had seen Louise Mandrell on an airplane. I'm like, what? So what? I mean, why do you have to say I'm not going to watch it? Because the only thing I can think about, that's when you only get 3 comments on a post, that's 33.3% of the people who responded. Right. And that's what I'm fixated on is, well, why aren't you going to watch it? Why, if you got to see her, you like her. Do you not like me? What's going on?
Was she too good enough?
Is she too good for me? So I know. Why do people feel the need to look, people, we don't need to hear every single thing going through your head.
Guess what?
You do not need to vocalize every thought.
I deleted the comment.
Yeah,
I was like, this doesn't push us forward in this conversation.
This is not helpful.
Right? And speaking of Facebook comments, here, I've got some pet peeves I need to talk to you about. Okay? Number 1 pet peeve. You write a question in a Facebook group saying, I am looking for this advice.
Yes.
But I don't want to do this. Right? Like as a solution.
And then someone immediately says, you should do that.
You should do that. Right? And you're like, no.
They want to turn it into a debate.
Right? Also, I have a new pet peeve that just came about because I'm on this Great Pyrenees rescue page for where we got Milo from. I asked a question like 5 weeks ago. Okay? There's 20 comments providing very insightful information based on experience with my question. This guy, 5 weeks later, responds and says, I don't know, I'm sorry. What? I'm like, what? like you see that people have responded, right? But also, like, even if you were the first commenter, like, why do you need to tell me that you don't know? Like, why?
Here's the thing. This is what I've realized. People have mistaken a social platform for a social platform. Do you hear the difference?
Yeah. They just need to interact with someone.
Right. They think they are applying like traditional in-person social graces to a social media or social platform, which does not only doesn't require that, but by doing so, it makes you look foolish, right? Why do you have to say, I don't know? Then don't know. Don't know in silence.
I don't know. Why are you telling us?
Yeah.
Why do we need to know? You don't know.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Like I didn't ask directly. If I had said,
hey, Jeff.
Hey.
hey, Steve.
Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know. Right. But I asked 500 people and you felt the need to pipe in and be like, I don't know.
I don't know. I'm going to go on 10 Facebook pages this week. And I just want to write back. That's a great question. I have no idea.
That's good. But like,
just to bug people. It's kind of funny. Maybe he did it just to bug you.
Yeah.
Or to be funny. You think he was being ironic? Maybe not.
No, I think he just wanted us to know that he cared.
That he didn't know.
But he didn't know.
He saw your post.
He was so sorry he didn't know.
But didn't know. And was sorry, apologetic about it.
He did like my post.
There
I think
you go.
he was just trying to be supportive. I'm here for you, but I have no answers.
Yeah.
You know what surprisingly didn't upset me, right? Because you'd think I'm a little sensitive about social posts and comments, but way back when we went to the Steve Harvey show.
That was like 100 years ago.
It was 100 years ago. My hair was longer. They did a great job on my makeup. I got to ask Steve a question.
It was very exciting. I drove up like at the crack of dawn, and we got to go to the
Tyler Perry
Studios, which was so cool. Yeah.
That was cool.
What upset you about that?
No, it didn't. I was surprised it didn't upset me. Was all these people, once the question, and it was about parenting and stand-up comedy, and about like where I had produced a show at a sex furniture and toys shop, and so I asked a question around that, and all these people piped in the comments like very judgy.
Very
and
judgy. I remember that.
But it was so over the top judgy that it was like hard for it to upset me.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, I'm like, this is silly. But my friend Laurie got very upset.
And defensive on your behalf?
I was like, I don't think she went in, piped in on anything. It was just that people were so, it was like really really religious conservative people. So I was like, I'm
They're
okay.
not your audience. Because
That's
I
not
think
my audience.
comedian Amanda has a thicker skin.
Yes.
And the ability to diffuse that in your head more than just normal Amanda. So,
True.
which means I'd like to have a redo and have comedian Amanda be the child I grew up with. So,
Oh man. The things I would have said to you as tiny comedian Amanda, Allison, would have made you blush.
and the good thing for you is I would have ignored it all.
Well, thanks for listening to the latest Sis Tell podcast. If you got something bad or good to say, let us hear it. No, don't let us hear it unless it's good. We don't want to hear the bad things. Anyways, thanks for listening. We love you. And thanks for, if you've been listening for 5 years, then you win a prize.
God bless you. Yes.
Not a real prize.
All three of you. As always, this has been Amanda and Allison with a whole lot of talk about a whole lot of nothing. We will catch you next time.